Second thing that happened, my brand new 3-week-old car. I'm driving to work at 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm the second car through on a green light. The guy who ran the red light T-boned my passenger side with no insurance, and I'm upside down in my car by $9,000. All of a sudden, I go from being comfortable to eating ramen noodles twice a week like I did
Wow.
in college when I was broke.
Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
So, Sally, tell us a little bit more about why do you decide to become an entrepreneur anyway? Why do you start to all this business with the property? What happened? Are your family they are entrepreneurs? Do you have a friend? Why do you want to be your own boss?
Uh, my watershed month was October of 2018. Three major things happened. I was working in Phoenix, Arizona as a Medicare broker. My oldest nephew was getting married in Charlotte, North Carolina. Medicare is the open enrollment is from October 5th to December 7th. His wedding was was October 29th. I had time saved up, and they would not let me have the Friday before the wedding and the Monday after the wedding off. Not happy.
Wow,
Yeah, not happy at all. Second thing that
that's,
happened,
that's why you said that's it. I'm quitting.
this is why exactly. I'm like, how dare someone tell me I can't use my own vacation time? I mean, you guys are from
Wow.
England. You have a lot more vacation time than we do. We just get 2 lousy weeks. So, second thing that happened, my brand new 3-week-old car. I'm driving to work at 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm the second car through on a green light. The guy who ran the red light T-boned my passenger side with no insurance, and I'm upside down in my car by $9,000. All of a sudden, I go from being comfortable to eating ramen noodles twice a week like I did
Wow.
in college when I was broke.
Wow.
So things weren't going well. And then the third thing that happened, I lived in Phoenix, Arizona. My mom and dad lived in Goodyear, Arizona, 25 miles west of Phoenix. They drove from Goodyear to Charlotte for the wedding. The Thursday before the wedding, my dad called me to tell me my mom was in the hospital. She got septic in the blood. She was on a ventilator for 13 months, in a hospital for 15 months. Her first bill for being on a ventilator was $92,000. My dad was retired military. It was all paid for. But I'm standing in my parents' kitchen. I have a mortgage. I have 2 car payments. I should have only had one. I have student loans because I went to graduate school. I have credit card debt, and I have an $8,000 deductible on my health insurance. So if I got injured in that car accident, I would have to come up with $8,000.
Wow.
Right there in my parents' kitchen, I called my friend Glenn. He had invited me to a real estate meeting back in August, and I said, I'm going to be busy. And Glenn said, hey, Sally, next Saturday, we're having a potluck Christmas dinner. Bring a $5 gift and some food and meet my fellow real estate investors. I don't know about you, but going to a party where you don't know anybody, a little bit scary, but I did it, and it was the best decision of my life. In 2019, still working full-time as a Medicare broker, hated the job. I wholesaled 7 properties, paid off $184,000 in debt, paid off my house, paid off my cars, paid off my student loans, completely debt-free. Woohoo, rock star.
Wow.
I knew about capital gains. I had $50,000 in my bank account. My CPA, doing my taxes, calls me on April 4th of 2020 to say, congratulations, Sally, you made so much money. Your tax bracket went from 22% to 24%. All
Wow.
of a sudden, I owed the federal government $97,000. I only had $50,000
Oh
saved.
my God, again.
So not happy. I took out a HELOC. I took money out of my house. I paid it all off. But have you ever heard of a book called The Power of Your Subconscious Mind?
Yes.
It's an old book by Joseph Murphy. It's one of my favorite books. I wake up the next day, 5 o'clock in the morning, get online, because I had read an article about the Rockefellers Spendthrift Trust. If the Rockefellers can save money, I want to save money. So I
Absolutely.
spent, mhm, well, everyone should save money. So I spent 5 months researching the Spendthrift Trust. And in September of 2020, I started both my business and my beneficial spendthrift trust to save money. And I became the first female teacher or mastermind in my real estate group. I'm very proud of that fact. Teach other real estate investors how to save taxes. And then, do you know who Bob Proctor was?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. I'm a student of Thinking into Results. My coach, Susan Ma, contacts me. She goes, "You're playing too small. You need to start helping business owners and other investors." And so I started my company March of 2020, and it's been fantastic ever since.
Wow, Sally, what a wonderful story. Let me tell you something. I think that sometimes life have to give you a little bit of push to do what you really want to be. Honestly, the how I started my property business is because I was working actually in London as a waiter. I got a degree in chemical engineering, but my English it was really bad. Still is bad. But I went to London to learn English, and so when you go there and you don't speak the language, of course you have to to be waiter, and this is the job that you have to do. And then but I was spending more than what I was making, because London is very expensive. But what happened is that my dad got cancer, and I didn't have money to go and travel to see my dad in Madrid, and I didn't even have money for the flight. So I remember my brother, which has a job, has to, back in the day, now he's also an entrepreneur, but back in the day he has a job. He has to use all his saving to save my dad's life, and that's hurt me a lot. To the point that I was so angry with myself, I couldn't sleep, and I promised to myself that I can never let myself in this situation again. That I don't have money to look after the people that I love. So guess what happened? I opened the book of Robert Kiyosaki. Today, some of my course speakers and leaders have been listed in the new Titan platform next to Robert Kiyosaki. So today, my courses are listed next to him. But I opened a book, and I learned. I learned a lot of things. I learned that you can be your own boss. I learned because my parents are teachers. They told me go to university, study a lot, and you're gonna be fine. And here I was in London as a waiter with the degree in chemical engineer, and because I don't speak English, nobody's gonna give me a job as an engineer. So and in Spain, it was not jobs. In Madrid, they were very restricted. In the north of Spain, I think Tarragona is with the chemical industries base. Yeah. Anyway, so, and then I literally did it purely for the money, honestly. Yeah. I was not passionate about property, didn't know anything about property. I just want to be my own boss. I want to make money to win that. And there I was. Next, I read the book in the all night. Yeah. And that day, 8 a.m., as soon as the bank opened, I went to the bank and said, look, I need they lend me some money. So they only could lend me 3,000 because of my salary. They cannot lend me any more money. And with that money was where I rent my first property, which become, I was renting properties, fix them up and rent them by units. Yeah, in London, they call it rent to rent. And this is how I acquired my first rent-to-rent property, and the rest is history. We managed to sell over 5 million, and it was amazing. And I'm very grateful about property. Still, I'm on the same boat of you in terms that I have 177 tenants, and so imagine. Imagine the operation that we had, but I'm managing that business to. The whole thing was running by itself up to the point that one day I went to the office and they told me, Harry, we don't need you anymore. Go home. We can run this company without you. Yeah. And they send me on holiday. my own, whatever. Yeah. So, however, my question is the following. What advice do you have for people out there that they're waiting until a tragic moment, until a moment of decision, yeah, happen. And sometimes it could be the case like me, like me that got cancer, I got angry. Maybe the case like you that you said, I cannot have this situation, I have death everywhere, I have to do something about it. But what message do you have to the people, to the young generation that listen to this podcast, that maybe they're going to waste 10, 20, 30 years working in a job, and eventually one day the life is going to hit them hard, and they will need to repurpose their life. Again, actually, I was in my 30s when this happened, So I've been...
I personally was 53, so yes.
There you go. So Sally, let's help the people that don't wait until be on the 30s, until be on the 53, to expand their own potential and to see what is possible. So what advice do you have for these people?
My biggest advice is, I'm stealing it from Nike. Just do it. Just do it. Now that I'm a real estate
people
investor,
are scared. People are scared. People are young. For somebody have 22, 23 years old, which I think this is the time that they should do it, because they have energy, and if they lost everything, nothing happens. They have their whole life ahead. People get comfortable and they get scared.
Or they become a couch potato.
You say that you're doing a job that you didn't like. Yeah. So why, Sally, tell us, yeah, why? Because let me tell you something, yeah. A lot of people talk about how to deal with failure, yeah, but nobody talk about how to deal with success. So we're gonna talk both things with you, yeah. Number one, yeah, why were you coping with a job that you're not happy, that they don't give you the amount of holiday? If I tell you a story, you're not gonna believe. The other day I was in London. Yeah, I dance salsa, so I have a group of friends which is outside the entrepreneur world completely. We dance salsa. Nobody knows what everybody does. We just go dance salsa, have fun, do a little bit exercise and everything. And one of the friends told me, "Harry, I'm going on holiday to India." I said, "Wow, amazing!" I said, "How long are you going for?" And he told me, "I'm going for a week." And I'm like, "Man, how come you're gonna do such a big trip from London to India only for a week?" Because every time that I go far, even when I go to US or whatever, I try to be at least a month, because I'm gonna spend, so I better gonna spend more time. So it was not working in my head. Like, this guy, why is gonna make the whole trip only for 1 week? You know what the guy told me? He told me, "Harry, the problem is that I don't have more holidays left." And this is when I realized how lucky I am in the last 18 years, which is when I've been in business, that even my head doesn't work, that somebody can tell me how long I'm going on holiday, or somebody told me if I'm gonna go for 3 months, I go, which I've done it several times. And so again, Sally, why were you coping with that? And what you knew clearly demonstrated that you have a huge potential, that you know how to sell, that you're very smart, that you're very resourceful, that in very little period of time, you are 53, you have made so much money and things that you can even make. I bet that in the last 4 years, you have made more money than all your entire life. 10x. So, why were you coping with this? What was a fear? Do you have something to pay? What happened?
Quite honestly, when I graduated from college or university here in the United States, I went to the Peace Corps for 2 years in Poland. Spent 2 years in Poland, and then kind of interesting, 100 of us went over, and at the end there were only 88 of us, and I had asked everyone who wants to go on the Trans-Siberian with me, from Moscow to China. Nobody wanted to do it. And I spent 9 months traveling around the world. Mm-hmm. Every time I met somebody, they assumed I was Canadian. Nobody assumed I was American, because Americans don't travel like Canadians and Europeans do.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.